Hello, Hurricane and football fans. The big D is here as I tell you all things about Tropical Storm Debby, the NFC North, and take you on a little best ball adventure tonight. Before I tell you about this crazy night I've got going, please subscribe, like, and share the Spunky Spectrum Sports YouTube page. And the Driving to the Top Productions YouTube page. See all my streams, see all my videos I post about the Big D podcast. Speaking of the Big D podcast, you can always check us out. Spotify, Apple. You can also check me out on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook this evening. So, you know, even though sports has been my love, Hurricanes might be, if not my first love, my 1A love. So I'm wanting to talk about Tropical Storm Debby, which is likely going to make landfall in Florida late tomorrow morning, early tomorrow afternoon, and I think we're looking in for a pretty decent sized hurricane. This is not going to be a Hurricane Michael. This isn't going to be, the Cat 5 monster that makes landfall tomorrow, but I think we're going to be in for a storm that people will remember in Florida. So, let me see if I can share the screen. There. So the latest update just came in from the National Hurricane Center, so let's check it out. 8 p.m. update. Location 21.8 degrees north, 84.1 west, movement 12 miles an hour, maximum sustained wind 70 miles an hour with minimum pressure 992 millivolts. We could also look at the public advisory. Debby strengthens and head toward Florida Big Bend will bring a major flood threat to the southeastern U.S. About 100 miles west of Tampa, 90 miles southwest of Cedar Key, moving north at 12, pressure 992. Change with the advisory, storm surge warnings in effect on the Florida coast from middle of Longboat Key northward to the Indian Pass, Georgia and South Carolina coast. Storm surge watch is in effect from Bonita Beach northward to Longboat Key. Hurricane warnings in effect from the Swanee River to the Indian Pass and coast south of the Swanee River, the Yankeetown. Tropical storm warning for the Florida coast south of Swanee River to Bonita Beach. And a hurricane warning means is that hurricane conditions are expected in those areas within 36 hours. Tropical storm warning means tropical storm conditions are expected within 36 hours. Now, there are some interesting facts I want to discuss about this hurricane. Hurricane 1, even though it's moving 12 miles an hour now, it's likely going to slow down. It's likely going to slow down at some point tonight. So, whether it's now or in a few hours, it's likely going to start slowing down. Another thing will happen, Debby will begin moving more to the northeast, so it's going to start curving more this way, like what Ian and Adalia did. But will this storm be as strong as Ian or Dahlia? Probably not. I mean, it's not even a hurricane 70 miles an hour, but is there a chance we're looking at a hurricane at 11 o'clock? Absolutely. Or at 2, 5 o'clock? Absolutely. But I feel very possible that we're going to have a hurricane sometime Monday. Tropical storm force winds stand up to 140 miles. And even here in Southwest Florida, there have been tornado warnings all day. There have been all kinds of bad weather in these areas. So it's been a long night figuring out like what kind of weather we're gonna have. It's been off and on rain with some wind. There've been some tornadoes. I just went outside to check and see what everything looked like outside, and I mean it's not really raining right now. It's still blowing a little bit, but definitely looks more like a rainstorm than anything else. So I strongly think we're looking at a hurricane, and it very well could go with the same areas which saw damage from Adalia last year. So you look at Perry, you look areas of the Big Bend, maybe St. Mark's, but I think Perry, St. Mark's, I think Cedar Key is going to get whacked again. Maybe surge, maybe some winds. I mean, depending on how quickly this storm develops, I think Cedar Key could be in that crosshair, getting some decent surge, maybe 5, 8, 10 feet. I think Perry could get winds, maybe not rivaling what happened in Adalia, but winds 70, 80, 90 miles an hour. We saw with Hurricane Beryl, which hit Texas last month, how that storm kept developing. And even though the winds might have only been 80, 85, 90 miles an hour, the gusts really pushed inward to Houston and so on. So you could see strong tropical storm force winds, maybe some hurricane force getting, I don't know if it'll get to Tallahassee, but maybe northern Florida, southeast Georgia. I mean, whether it's a low end, a high end tropical storm, low end category 1, maybe category 2 hurricane, the effects won't change much. So I think we're looking at a very wet, windy morning tomorrow. It's going to be, there's going to be a few problems, particularly if you're in a low line area. So please get out now. And if I were in like Perry or somewhere, I'm going west. I'm not going east because the storm's going to go east. So I'm saying, about a trip to Pensacola. And then after the storm makes landfall is where I think Debby's impact will truly be felt, because I think we could be in for historic rainfall, not just in Florida, but potentially southeast Georgia and the Carolinas. We've seen slow moving hurricanes through the Carolinas. Matthew brought a lot of rain. Florence brought a ton of rain to Carolina. And I think Debby could be the next one of those storms. Of course, I'll be in Texas, but I think Debby has got a chance to be the next big hurricane to hit. So I think with Debby, it might take 3 or 4 days to travel go through the southeast, and potentially what may happen, it may just sit, stall, do loops, maybe go back in the Gulf Stream, head back and hit the Carolinas, maybe hit Georgia. So you look at areas Jacksonville, Savannah, New Brunswick, Hilton Head, Charleston, maybe Myrtle Beach. I mean, if anyone's been to Savannah or Charleston, both of those cities all very low lying. Charleston's right on the water, so I mean, 20, 30 inches of rain would just absolutely inundate Charleston. You've been to the Battery, anybody who's been there, it could create one big mess. And also, depending on how slow it moves, because there's a chance it stalls, maybe goes back in the land, maybe impacts the Gulf Stream. It could be landfall, maybe even another hurricane hitting tomorrow. I mean, hitting later in the weekend. By the way, school closures. I know a few schools shutting down early. I think schools starting tomorrow, not just in just in Collier County, but or a few places. But you look at Volusia, Bradford, Citrus, Dixie, Duval, Florida, A&M Lab School, Franklin, Glaston, Gilchrist, Gulf, Hamilton, Jefferson, Lafayette County, Leon, Levy, Madison, Nassau, Taylor, and Wakulla counties all closed school tomorrow. So, school's opening tomorrow. Everybody's excited for the first day of school. Oh, there's going to be a hurricane. So anybody's wondering, is this storm going to be similar to Adalia, which hit Perry, Florida last year? I think it'll be quite a bit different. Adalia was a very small hurricane, and I think Perry, in many ways, even though Perry saw a lot of wind damage, didn't really get surge. In this case, I don't think the wind will be quite as bad, but there will be more water involved. This hurricane's moving slow. It's also got a huge amount of rain on the right side, so I mean we certainly felt it here. So if you're from Cedar Key, Perry, I mean Cedar Key's going to get a lot of water, whether it be rain, salt water, fresh water, or both. So I think we're looking at a very long night. I mean, every picture I see with this storm tells me this. Tells me this is going to be a hurricane, whether it's late tonight or in the wee hour or when we're all trying to sleep in the morning. It tells me we're looking at a hurricane quite an early tomorrow. And I mean, could this be a Category 2 hurricane? I mean, 979 is generally the pressure for becoming a Category 2 hurricane. And I mean, it'd have to drop 13, 15 millibars. Could that happen? I mean, if we're talking 6 hours, probably not. If we're talking 15 hours, perhaps. So I think there is a chance. Oof. I mean, even looking back to the last update, I'm a little surprised Debbie's pressure wasn't lowered because it was 992 at 5 o'clock, and the same pressure happened at 8 o'clock. But yet we saw same winds winds go from 65 to 70. So um, it's still one big mess. Whatever happened. So I think we're looking at a hurricane. And I think we're looking at a pretty significant impact. Will it be a major hurricane? No. But could it be 90, 95 mile an hour winds? Yeah. So if you're in an evacuation area, get out. And if you're in a low lying area, you better have a high piece of land or somewhere you can go. Or B, maybe get out. Because if you're in Perry, you've got a few hours before leaving tonight, but still, it's going to be, actually, you may think you're better off going north, you're better off going west. I think you're better off going west and hoping the storm doesn't follow you and knowing the storm in a likelihood it's going east. So, Hurricane Debby is going to be a big rainmaker. I mean, it could be, 5, 8 inches common throughout everywhere, but I think many places will get over a foot. More here. So, my prayers are with everybody in the path of the storm, and I hope everybody is safe, particularly the Big Ben. Now, I know everybody will say, well, the Big Ben's not exactly the greatest place. Yeah, not exactly the most well-developed area. If there's one place you could put a hurricane in Florida, it's probably the Big Ben because because unlike Miami, Tampa, Naples, Orlando, it's not that many people. It's not a very well developed area. It's very low line in the infrastructure is not. The buildings aren't quite, and buildings aren't built to the same standard like we have in Estero or Miami-Dade, Broward County, which might have the strongest building code in the world. But remember seeing all kinds of wind damage with Perry, and that was a Category 3 hurricane last year. So I I don't know if we'll see that kind of winds, but I think we could see wind gusts 80, 90 miles an hour, maybe even one or two approaching 100. So, and hopefully the storm gets out of here because I don't want to count all the feet of rain, not inches, but feet of rain. So, it's August. Hurricane season really builds in August, September. Then there's another secondary active period in October. And with already 4 storms now and a large chunk of the season to go, I feel like we're in for one of those years. Hopefully it's not 2004. Hopefully it's not 2005. Hopefully it's not 2017. Hopefully it's not 2020 with all kinds of records with storms hitting Florida, destruction, whatever. But hopefully this is the last the last storm to hit the U.S. because we saw Beryl hit Texas and now Debby's going to impact Florida tomorrow. So as Debby moves to the north and eventually in the northeast, I think it's only appropriate we talk about the NFC North. And my goodness, it's going to be a fun division to watch this year. Obviously, Detroit Lions won it last year. Darn near beat the San Francisco 49ers in the NFC Championship game. And I'm intrigued what the Lions do this year. Obviously, most people thought the Lions blew a potential Super Bowl appearance against the Niners, but I mean, the Lions maybe went a little conservative in that title game, but I like a lot about the Lions. Love Jared Goff, like the running backs, love me on Ross, Sam Laporta, the offensive line. Defensively is where Detroit's biggest questions are. I mean, obviously Ian Hutchinson's the big key on defense, but the Lions also added Colton Davis from the Bucks, drafted I think Terry Arnold from Alabama. Yeah, so they drafted Terry Arnold and wait, and Enos Rackstall Jr. from Missouri. I mean, Alabama defensive backs have typically done well. Yeah, I want to draft a defensive back who played under Nick Saban. That's usually a good idea, but I like what the Lions did. Needed some help on the in the secondary. Get a couple really good young corners. Colton Davis won a Super Bowl with the Bucks. So, I mean, what will Detroit do with more pressure on them this year? I mean, Jared Goff's top 10 quarterback. There's a lot of like about the Lions. Detroit only plays three true outdoor games. I think the Pack was week 9, Chicago week 16, then San Francisco week 17. But the question is, are the Lions good enough to not just win the division, but maybe win the whole NFC? Because, I mean, LA, San Francisco, Philadelphia, maybe even Green Bay. Because I think the NFC North is brutal this year. I think a couple of these teams could end up with championships. Sunday, one of them ended up in the Super Bowl. So will Detroit have a cakewalk in the division this year? Probably not. Would it all surprise me the Lions end up in the Super Bowl? No. And then Dan Campbell, I mean, if there's one team's head coach who's reminds me of George S. Patton, who command the U.S. Third Army in World War II, is Dan Campbell. I mean, Dan Campbell reminds me of old Blood and Guts because he's all blood and guts every single Sunday. Maybe too emotional. Maybe Dan Campbell might be too emotional. Maybe the Lions win. Maybe the Lions go for fourth down more than anyone. Perhaps, but in a way, that's part of Dan Campbell's style. That's part of Dan Campbell's DNA. Oh, now I'm hearing. Wait, if this is true, Air Force recons finding the pressure of 986 millibars. So, if that is true, there's a great potential. There's a potential. Debby is a hurricane right now. But back to the Lions. You know, Detroit hasn't been to a Super Bowl in NFL history. What, one of 4 or 5 teams to have Super Bowl appearance? Fortunately, my Jags are one of them. The Browns, Texans. Browns, Texas. So can Detroit? I mean, Detroit went 30 plus years without hosting a playoff game. Check that. Detroit hasn't won an NFL title in forever. Could the Lions do that this year? Yes, I mean the Lions have been very aggressive signing guys. Gave Jared Goff a lot of money. I'm on Ross St. Brown a lot of money. Both tackles. So keys for the Lions this year. Can Jameson Williams become at least a number 2? Because Amon Ra's really good, but the Lions need Jameson Williams to become the guy he was at Alabama a few years ago. Sam Laporta follow his rookie output? Could Jameer Gibbs become more consistent and a more integral part of the Lion attack? And in defensively, could the Lions just stop a few teams and not make every game a shootout? And now from Detroit to Green Bay, discuss the Packers. So Jordan Love, one of the quarterbacks to get his big contract. But there was some change with the Packers. Aaron Jones is now in Minnesota, so Josh Jacobs signed a big deal with the Raiders. But the Packers also drafted Marshawn Lloyd from USC, and also A.J. Dillon's still there, so who knows if Josh Jacobs will be the number one back this year, next year, going forward. Maybe A.J. Dillon, maybe Marshawn Lloyd unseats both of them. And then wide receiver wise, I think Green Bay's got the deepest wide receiver core in the league. Jane Reed, Christian Watson, Romeo Dobbs, and Wicks. So Green Bay's got 4 legitimate wide receivers, not to mention Luke Musgrave and Tucker Kraft. The offensive line is going to be interesting this year. It's young, but Green Bay does a great job drafting, developing linemen, so that doesn't worry me. Defensively, again, I think this is the division where there will be a lot of shootouts. Can the Packers stop teams? And then, is Jordan Love the same quarterback we saw the first half of the year or the second half of the year? Because if Jordan Love is the same quarterback who dismantled Dak Prescott in the playoffs, the Green Bay Packers could end up in New Orleans. But if not, maybe he regresses. Maybe the Packers panic and gave him too much money. And this is Jalen Hurts 2.0. I would have loved to see, another 8 games, another year before giving him the contract. But generally, teams give quarterbacks the money. I mean, we saw it with Trevor, saw it with Tua, saw it with Jared Goff. Teams don't want their quarterbacks missing time. So, Jordan Love, and in a way, the Packers get the quarterback position better than anyone. They trade Brett Favre when he still had 1 or 2 years left. Aaron Rodgers, and now Jordan Love for the prime of his career. So, if you're a good quarterback, you want to be drafted like Green Bay. Don't be drafted by the Patriots. Sorry, Drake May, but I mean, it's going to be a fun division. Green Bay, Bay plus the Packers start with that Week 1 game against the Eagles in Sao Paulo. So I don't know if it's an advantage or a disadvantage for Green Bay playing in Sao Paulo rather than Lincoln Financial Field. So we head from Green Bay to Minnesota. So if you change in Minnesota, Kirk Cousins no longer the Viking quarterback. Sam Darnold likely to start Week 1. We'll see whether or not, but Minnesota drafted J.J. McCarthy to be the long-term answer. How long will it be until J.J. McCarthy starts? We don't know. But then they all question about the offense. Look, Justin Jefferson signed a big-time deal with the Vikings, so got his money. But Alexander Madison gone. Aaron Jones in. But Minnesota also has got questions for Jordan Addison and T.J. Hawkinson. Jordan Addison may or may not be suspended for parts of this season, and T.J. Hawkinson's coming back from a late torn ACL, so who knows if he's ready for Week 1. Well, Minnesota's got a Week 6 bye, so maybe he's back. Maybe the Vikings put him on PUP, and then Hawkinson's ready for week 7. We don't exactly know how that goes. And then I love the Vikings left tackle, Christian Darris. So got a big contract in the off season. So the young man from Virginia Tech is not only a stalwart left tackle, but will be for a long time. But the Vikings defense, like every other team in this division, is going to be key. They drafted Dallas Turner with Vikings drafted Dallas Turner with the second of 2 first-round picks. Really going to add a lot of pass rushing ability. I think he's got a chance to be one of the steals of this draft. I mean, we're surprised that it turned to go higher, but maybe the teams probably correctly saw Dallas. These defensive guys are not necessarily great in this draft, so why take one here? And then, how long will Sam Darnold stay upright? Because, I mean, I think if Sam plays well, I mean, Minnesota's got a lot to work with. Good running game, great wide receivers, really good offensive line, and if TJ Hawkinson's healthy, really good tight end. So I think Sam Darnold starts the year. I don't know if we see a lot of JJ McCarthy. I don't think Minnesota would be bad enough where they just say, yeah, we'll start JJ McCarthy. Sam Darnold's good enough to win games. So I think the Vikings are good enough to maybe be on the fringe of playoff contention, but we'll see. And then the Bears. So, I mean, Caleb Williams is going to be the most interesting rookie quarterback we've seen in a long time, but he's got a lot to work with. DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, 2 professional wide receivers. DeAndre Swift, running back. Maybe the Bears overpaid, but story for another day. And the Bears also drafted Rome Medusa. So I have 3 really excellent wide receivers. I guess you would say an average to slightly above average. At least a workable offensive line, 2 pro tight ends, and a really good defense. So, and I know everybody's thinking, well, Caleb Williams wasn't his best in 23. Caleb Williams not the problem in USC. It was everyone else. Because it seemed like every time I watched SC play last year, the Trojans couldn't stop a nosebleed. So, lot I like about Caleb Williams. I mean, is he Pat Mahomes? Is he better than Trevor Lawrence? We'll see. Could the Bears be in the playoffs? It's hard for a rookie quarterback to be in the playoffs, but we've seen Andrew Luck make the playoffs, Matt Ryan make the playoffs. RG3, could he do it? I mean, Matt Eberflus is potentially on the hot seat. The only thing I hate about it, I'd rather have I wish Kevin O'Connell were coaching the Bears this year because I feel more confident that Williams is going to succeed this year. I think Caleb Williams is going to be fine in Chicago. He'd be fine anyway. But Caleb Williams is in a better spot to succeed with the Bears than Drake May is with New England. Just because the Bears have better wide receivers, but I think the Bears will give Caleb Williams every opportunity to succeed. I have no idea what New England will do with Drake May. And then break for the Bears. They also don't play any divisional rival until week 11. So the Bears don't have to play, the Packers, the Vikings, the Lions until Caleb Williams is settled in the NFL. Um, in terms of my pick for this division, this is the hardest division to pick this year because I think there are two clear favorites for 1 and 2, and then who knows, 3 and 4. Um, I'm honestly still thinking about it. I'm gonna pick the Lions to win the division. I think Jared Goff's a little better than Jordan Love right now. And knock on wood, I think Detroit's offensive line's better. And give me the team with the offensive line in this division. So I think Detroit wins, but I wouldn't be surprised if Green Bay wins. And then I've got the Bears finishing third and Minnesota fourth, but I think the Vikings will be the best last place team in the NFL this year. And it wouldn't surprise me if the Vikings and all the Bears make the playoffs. So how about me? I'm a basketball guru, so let's hop into a draft. Let's hop into a draft. Let me see. Best ball. Oh, come on. We're checking location again, are we? Give me a break. So 6 to 12. So I will get a cup of water and be back for the draft. Let's see how many more people have to join. I'm at the 111. 11, yeah, so I'm at 111. So not my favorite place to draft, but we'll make it work. I mean, I think there's 0% chance I get top few guys. I'm not going to get McCaffrey, Lamb, Tyree, Chase. I'm looking in this range. I'm hoping somebody like Puka falls to me, and I can get Puka, Marvin Harrison, maybe on Trey McBride. It's funny. True story. I saw when I was outside. I saw somebody dropping a off a package. It was an Amazon package from my next door neighbor, Sonia. So we are underway, and no surprise, the first three picks: McCaffrey, Lamb, and him. Shotgun. I mean, who knows what CeeDee Lamb's going to do? Oh my goodness, Garrett Wilson, 104. I don't know if Fridge froze for a minute or what. That's the earliest I've seen Garrett Wilson go all summer. Must say, I'm a little stunned by that. I've seen Garrett Wilson go in the second round of draft. So it's been the Wilson, JJ, Amon Ra, Jamal Chase, AJ Brown. Interesting. Huh. There goes Brees Hall. Bijan, I'm going to take Puka! Puka! Interesting. Jalen Water. Huh. I'm going to take Marvin Harrison Jr. I want to stack the Arizona LA game, and I don't think there'd be a better way for me to go than Puka and Marvin Harrison. Nathan Peterman still. Wait, Nathan Peterman still plays in the NFL, right? I actually didn't know Nathan Peterman was in the NFL this year, honestly. So after I took more, so in the second round, let me see if I can get it. The second round is Waddle, Marvin Harrison Jr., Saquon, Drake London, Devontae Adams, Nico, Devon Achane, Mahomes, JT, Chris Olave, Cooper Cup, Debo, and Mike Evans at the 3-1 turn. Hmm. Excuse me. Interesting. Jalen Hurts just won. Oh, yeah, he got the Hurts Brown stack. Am I going to just start my whole? Am I just going to do a whole NFC West draft? Because first three picks: Puka, Marvin Harrison Jr., DK Metcalf. I'm just going to draft the whole NFC West tonight. Sam Laporta, so I'm going to get Trey McBride. So I've gone Puka, Marvin Harrison Jr., DK Metcalf, Trey McBride. I'm in the NFC West. Let me see. Whoa, David Njoku was drafted at 4'8". I mean, I don't know about you, but I don't think I'd be taking him at 4'8". That seems awfully early. It's before walking. Yeah, that's 3.5 rounds, 4 rounds early. Nick is going hero running back. Rothstein just took James Cook. Jason takes Dalton Kincaid, who will Fridge take? Oh, Rasheed Rice. Calvin Ridley. Anthony Richardson. CJ Stroud. Keenan Allen. No, I'm not going to draft Mark Andrews tonight. At least not. At least not now. Maybe if he fell. Um, I'm gonna take Rashad White. Goes Kyle Pitts. I don't think I'm gonna take Kyler Murray here. I think I'm gonna take another wide receiver. I'm gonna take Marquise Hollywood Brown. So I've gone Puka, Marvin Harrison Jr., DK Metcalf, Trey McBride, Hollywood Brown, Rashad White. So I'm looking at Hollywood at Kyler next. Boy, Chris Godwin just won pick 71. Wow. There goes George Kittle. So is Nick gonna take Brock Purdy? No, he'll wait. Evan Ingram and Mark Andrews just went in the 6th round. I'm like, oh, you little pooper, Jason takes Kyler. Come on, dog. Why are you taking my players? You dirty rat. Well, this is going to be a fun team to draft. I don't know what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to take Najee. And I'm going to draft one of these wide receivers. It's Rome Deuce. Jordan Love. So I'm going to take Lan McConkey. This is not exactly the draft I want to be doing because I would rather. I mean, I tried to get Kyler, and I don't know why Jason, whatever his name is, took Kyler because I drafted Marvin Harrison Jr. and Trey McBride. So what do you do? You are annoying me. You are annoying me. You've been a bad boy. There goes Brock Purdy. At Dak Prescott just went at the end of the seventh round. Then Zach 1-6 took Ferguson 2. Oh, wow, Devin Singletary and Chase Brown going in front of Raheem Mostert. Whew, didn't see that. Goes Jared Goff, so it's probably an Amon-Ra team. Yep. Yeah, doesn't need another quarterback with Richardson and Goff. There goes Jordan Addison. Yeah, so I've broken one of my cardinal rules in drafts. I've not drafted a quarterback yet. I'm gonna change that. Hopefully with a couple. I've got Matthew Stafford ready. I actually thought about taking Josh Palmer, but I'm like, I need to get on my running backs early if I'm not gonna take quarterbacks. There goes Tyler Watkins. I mean, running backs are 11. Rashad White, Najee Harris, Tajay Spears, Brian Robinson, wide receivers, Puka, Marvin Anderson Jr., DK Metcalf, Hollywood Brown, and Liam McConkey. I just need some quarterbacks. Oh, you little rat. Took Stafford. Oh boy. This is not fun. Probably a Cooper Cup team. Yeah, that's a Cooper Cup team. I knew it. Oh, just drafted Baker, so went back to back quarterback. I don't necessarily hate my quarterbacks. It's just that might not have quite the upside. I mean, uh, I hate reaching for Kyle. Looking back, I wish I would have drafted him, but it was my stack. I mean, I just thought it was the right stack to do. I mean, that happens. Oh, shoot, I'm on the clock. Just a minute here. Shoot, I was gonna take Adam Thielen. Rats. And Ty Chandler. I've been picked twice. Just drafted Darnell Mooney and Jalen Wright. Going upside. With this is not my favorite draft I've ever done. Now somebody took Geno. I've been bid for every quarterback I could get my hands on to. Oh boy. Now, this is not my favorite team. I've gone 2-5-6-1 with Herbert McConkey, Baker, Rashad White. I don't even know if he'll be the lead back in Tampa. Mooney, McConkey, Brown, Metcalf, Morrison Jr., and Puka. You're kidding me, right? Just kill me now, please. I want to take Daniel Jones before somebody else takes him. I'm gonna take Jalen McMillan. The rookie out of Washington. I really want to stack him. Been trying to get him in drafts. I think McMillan's got a chance to be a really good player. Dealt with a knee injury, but 1,000-yard receiving college and can make a lot of plays. So I think getting Baker. I mean, it's not my favorite quarterback room, but I think it's one that I can work with McMillan, Herbert, Daniel Jones, probably trying to get Jalen Hyatt. Probably start to get some tight ends. Definitely need to get that position. It goes Khalil Herbert. Yeah, still have only drafted one tight end. I mean, Trey McBride's really good. I mean, I don't hate my quarterbacks. I mean, Daniel Jones, Baker, Herbert. I mean, assuming Justin Herbert's okay, and I think he will be. I mean, it's going to be a question whether or not Herbert's healthy. Because if not, the Chargers season's over before it begins, right? Darn it. So finally got another tight end in John Smith. And then got Jalen High. So now I've stacked all three of my quarterbacks. Looking at another tight end and a running back if they ever listen to me. This is not going to be one for the record books. I don't know how much it is a month. I'm not going to. Oh boy. Yeah. Yeah, so latest team Puka, Marvin Harrison, DK Metcalf, Trey McBride, Rashad White, Hollywood Brown, Najee, Lan McConkey, Tajay Spears, Brian Robinson, Justin Herbert, Baker, Darnell Mooney, um, Jalen Ryan, Daniel Jones, Jalen McMillan, John Smith, Jalen Hines, Greg Dolches, and Trey Sermon. So this concludes the latest big draft. So thanks for tuning in to the streams. We talk Debby, the North, and drafting. So tune in to Driving to the Top Production, the Spunky Spectrum Sports YouTube page, and we will see you later.